Welcome to episode number 31, How to Take Your Business Online. For all those who do not know me, my name is Dilnawaz Khan. I'm founder of Co-Design Labs and PowerDeck. In today's session, we will talk about five most important things about getting your business started online. So number one, who is online for? If you are an entrepreneur, if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, if you're a business founder, we will try and understand in this entire session who is online business for. Why do we need to think about online, right? And of course, why should you care? Whether a student, whether an entrepreneur, whether a business founder, why should you care for, right? Second and most important thing, disadvantages, disadvantages and challenges of online business, right? Or moving online from offline, right? Third, how can you get started? This is the most exciting part that I've prepared for all of you. This is something that you should really be taking down notes on, because I have literally decoded how can you come online, how can you get your business started online. So what I've done for all of you is I have put down all the possible steps that you as an entrepreneur should take in order to get your business started online. And of course, then what next? Once you are online, then what happens, right? And then I have a few bonus tips for all of you about digital marketing, about email marketing, about all other sort of marketing through which you can promote your business, right? So this is what we're going to talk in today's session. And most importantly, if you are watching me tonight, and if you are maybe watching me on repeat or later on, if you're somebody who comes and watch the repeat telecast, let me make it very, very clear for you that for whom today's session is for. So number one, today's session is very, very important for all those business owners out there, because in last 1 year we have seen, while being in lockdown, it's almost like 1 year of lockdown now, it's almost like 1 year of working from home, it's almost like 1 year of new normal. And last 1 year has taught us that world has moved online, the behavior of everybody has changed, and therefore this session is for everybody who's a traditional, conventional, regular business owner. He or she should watch this session. Second, if you are a startup founder, this session is for you. Why? Because if you're somebody who's running your business already, this session will give you a blueprint, as in how can you optimize your strategies to build a better online presence, especially from the marketing and digital marketing and general audience reach out point of view. And of course, as I was speaking about the bonus thing, I will also be showing you a customer journey graph, and how can you understand that graph and convert your visitor into a customer. So that is the tip for all of you. So this session is for startup founders. And last and most importantly, and the most important critical audience member or piece, aspiring entrepreneurs. This is, my friends, literally the blueprint to get started online. So if you are an aspiring entrepreneur looking for an idea, thinking to build an online business, maybe thinking to start a side hustle, you might be a student with entrepreneurial streak. If you are any of that person, this is a session for you. So quickly repeating, this session is not just for traditional, conventional business owners. This session is for everybody who's a business owner, a startup founder, and most importantly, aspiring entrepreneur, right? So this session is for all these three kind of people, right? So once again, if you are excited for today's session, drop a thumbs up. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also hit the bell icon so that you are updated about further videos. Very soon, if you're watching me tonight, let me announce it upfront. Very soon, I'm starting to create micro videos. So you will very soon be getting smaller version of videos as well, right? So you can of course enjoy the long form of content, the long form of podcast, but I will also be making small version very, very soon. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon so that you are updated, and make sure you like the video, because that is very, very important for all of us, because then YouTube promotes and pushes it further. Of course, what is in for you? If you have any questions, make sure you post your questions in live chat. Live chat is for you, my friend. This is the space, this is the place for you where you can come, ask your questions, anything in the world, specifically about the topic. But yeah, any and every question that you have about your business, feel free to drop that in live chat. I will be more than happy to answer. And as I said, you can follow me on Instagram and LinkedIn. The handle is already in the ticker below, right? So let's begin. I hope all of you are excited. So drop a quick boom in chat or drop a thumbs up in chat, and let's get started, right? So first of all, the thing I want to talk to all of you is, conventionally, if I break all the businesses, conventionally, if I talk about all the businesses in the world, the businesses can be divided into two parts. We have startups, primarily tech businesses. Why am I talking about, why am I saying tech for startups? Because if you look at the broader ecosystem, almost all the startups are highly scalable. I've spoken about it, in fact, at depth, in detail, in my first video on this channel, which is the basics of starting up. If you haven't watched episode 1 of AMA with DNK, make sure to go and watch that. So primarily startups are tech businesses. These are the businesses that leverage the ecosystem, that leverage the digital ecosystem, that leverage the online ecosystem. Wherein vis-a-vis, on the other side, we have conventional traditional businesses, right, which are more or less mom and pop shops, brick and mortar businesses, and all those kind of businesses that have not yet come online or have leverage, right? So in this session, what we'll do, we'll try and decode the entire digital online ecosystem for all these traditional conventional businesses, so that they can come online and get started. And of course, if in one line, if I have to summarize, why should you watch this session, why should you even care about online? Because online gives you more audience, online gives you better reach, online gives you more visitors, online gives you more sales, online makes you much more profitable, right? So if you are an entrepreneur, make sure you watch this session, because online, getting started online, will give you better money. Yeah, right. And if you are an entrepreneur not caring about money, then maybe you're in wrong place, my friends, right? So I hope you've broadly understood what I want to talk about. Startups have already leveraged the online space. We are going to talk about traditional businesses, or maybe other couple of other things that you can leverage as an entrepreneur, that will help you to get started. All right. So typically, if I categorize, or if I break the businesses and companies and traditional businesses into three broad categories, there are three broad categories I want to break them into. Number one is startups or technology businesses. These are the businesses that are 100% internet driven. Companies like Google, companies like Facebook, companies like Paytm, all of these companies are 100% online. These are companies that do not have an offline presence, right? You would have never met a Paytm executive in your life. You would have never met somebody from Google in your life. Of course, until and unless they're not the employees, but you would have never got somebody from the customer department, or you would have never met somebody in general from Paytm, Facebook, and Google, because the delivery, the entire customer experience, everything happens online. That is what happens when you talk about a 100% internet-driven company. But on the other side, we have businesses which are technically enabled or technology-enabled businesses. Now, what do I mean by technology-enabled businesses or tech-enabled businesses? These are the companies these are the companies likes of which, let me put it upfront, likes of which used to exist earlier as well. So for Ola, they were cab services. For Oyo, they were traditional, conventional, cheaper hotels. For Flipkart, they were local logistics and delivery companies. For Yatra, you already had agents who would book your ticket offline, and you had hotel where you can go and book things offline, right? Book My Show, all of us have gone and stood in the queue in order to get the ticket, right? So these are the form of companies that have basically been optimized, made higher efficient because of technology. So this is not a technical business. All of these types of businesses have been optimized heavily by use of technology. The end result, the end output still happens on the ground, right? So for example, no matter how great the app of Ola is, ultimately customer experience will happen when you go and sit in the cab, right? No matter what happens, if you are a part of Oyo, if you go to sorry if no matter what happens, how great the Oyo app is, the ultimate customer experience happens when you go and stay in the Oyo rooms, right? Or maybe for Flipkart, or maybe for Yatra, and so on and so forth. The point I'm trying to make is, if you look, four red points mentioned here: optimize operations, high efficiency, ease of discovery, and customer friendly nature overall, which is better CX, which is customer experience. So when you equip tech or technology with conventional businesses, you are able to create something which is a startup, something which can scale to a bigger level. All right. So now you have technical companies, or 100% internet or technology driven companies, which are internet or technical businesses. You have something like technology enabled businesses like Ola, Oyo, Yatra, Flipkart. But you also, and of course, yeah, before I jump, let me also add up point number 2.1, which is there are also sectors where technology is used and aided heavily. But again, these are not technology businesses. For example, edtech, agritech, healthcare. Technology can act as an enabler, technology can act as a tool in edtech sector. But again, you have, if the teacher is not great, no matter how great of technology you're using, the product will fail. No matter how great of a technology it is, the ultimate agriculture, the ultimate agri thing has to happen either in ground or in water, whether you're doing aquaponics or hydroponics or regular agriculture, right? Similarly for healthcare, again, technology as a tool. But as I was saying, now let us talk about non-tech or traditional businesses. So, for ease of understanding, and this is what I'm trying to do right now for all those who are watching, I'm basically trying to lay out a broad map, lay out a broad structure, lay out a broad ecosystem so that you can see and visualize how the entire business landscape is there in the market, right? So that you can find a fit. Where do you lie? And wherever you are, you can always get started from that point and come online, right? So if this, again, if this makes sense to you, drop a comment and let me know that you are able to understand, and also keep on dropping a question. So the idea that I'm trying to portray here is, what I'm trying to project here is that I'm trying to help you visualize a broader business ecosystem wherein startups exist, wherein technology enabled businesses exist, and most importantly, non-tech and traditional businesses exist, right? That is what the entire business ecosystem looks like. That is how it looks like, right? So sectors like garment, textile, jewelry, all of these sectors are hardcore conventional, traditional. You can aid them using technology, you can aid them using technology in the sector, but these businesses have not yet taken full advantage of online and digital. Maybe a few of them may be B2B, maybe a few of them will be B2C. We will also talk about the nature of business model in a bit, right? So stay with me. So sectors like garment, textile, jewelry, etc., all of these sectors are very, very traditional and conventional sectors, right? Then you have industries, right? Hardcore industries like chemical manufacturing, automotive, all these sort of industries that are hardcore industries. Again, they are far, far, far away from digital online presence, right? And last but not the least, traditional conventional businesses like furniture, real estate, cafes, restaurants. Now, of course, you have seen, because cafes and restaurants doing social media, maybe WhatsApp marketing, maybe digital marketing, maybe running social media ads. You are seeing them doing this stuff. But again, it's a very, very recent phenomenon. But again, businesses like furniture and real estate are yet not all out there, with the exception of likes of Pepperfry and maybe a few other real estate tech companies like housing.com or 99 acres and stuff like that. But again, if you look at traditional real estate market, traditional market where transactions happen, traditional market where deals happen, right? It is majorly traditional offline conventional business, right? So this is the broad ecosystem existing out there, right? And of course, as I said, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are somebody with an entrepreneurial streak, this episode of the AMA with DNK, this session should not only motivate you or give you an idea or give you an understanding of how can you take a business online, but should also give you a perspective about opportunities out there. So by the end of the session, when you are able to map all the possible things, when you're able to map the entire ecosystem, what will happen is you will be able to find an opportunity for yourself based on your interest, based on your passion, based on your inclination, based on your skill set. So make sure you are taking down the notes or come back and watch again later, right? So, and again, out of all of these things, either you can be selling a product or either you can be selling a service. So now we have three broad pillars: 100% tech, tech enabled, and non-tech businesses. And all of these businesses can be either selling products or can be selling services. So very simply put, product is something where a physical hardware is involved. Service is typically knowledge, consulting, education, that sort of sector. Now, one more thing that makes these things more complicated is delivery, right? So you can be either a B2B business, which is business to business kind of a thing, which is more like an enterprise thing. You are a supplier, you are a business that deals with other business, right? You can be directly business to consumer kind of a business where you're dealing with end customer and consumer at the end of the day. And last but not the least, pretty modern thing, D2C. You can maybe without avoiding the entire channel, without ever avoiding the entire framework of distribution, you are selling your product direct to consumer, right? So again, if you now mentally visualize everything together, this should give you entire landscape, should give you entire picture, should give you entire matrix of how the business ecosystem looks like. Let me help you summarize it once again before we move ahead. You have three broad kind of businesses: 100% tech enabled traditional businesses. All of these businesses can either be selling service or product, and then the kind of methodology of delivery is B2B, B2C, D2C. So if you look at this entire landscape, you can find a space where you will be able to spot a lot of inefficiency. You'll be able to spot a problem. You'll be able to spot a skill set where you can contribute positively, and also maybe possibly a area of interest where you can go and build something out there. If you are able to map it, congratulations to each one of you. I think you have been able to build the first level of business matrix. All right. So one additional tip: if you haven't if you do not know about D2C, which is direct to consumer, direct to consumer primarily is a pretty modern method, primarily used by e-commerce companies who do not use a marketplace, who do not use a traditional conventional distribution network, but are primarily supplying directly to consumer. Companies like companies like Sleepy Owl delivering coffee, companies like Tree Trunk delivering tea, and there's so many companies out there which are into D2C model. As I said, what you can see on the screen, if you want to learn more about D2C, I have done an entire episode number 28 on Smart Sales channel, where I've spoken at length, in depth about what is D2C and how can you leverage direct to consumer as an entrepreneur. And also, if you want to learn more about what are the niche e-commerce ideas, what are the big ideas for 2021, I've already done a video on the ideas that you can get started in 2021 on. And yes, niche e-commerce is one of the biggest ideas for 2021. Go and watch that video on my channel. It was, I think, done in earlier January, so that should be like a episode number 22 or 25, somewhere in that range. You will be able to find that. It is called business ideas for 2021, right? So moving ahead. So therefore, before we talk online, a few common questions that entrepreneurs ask. And again, as I'm moving ahead, I hope this is valuable to you. I hope you're able to understand what I'm saying. So please make sure you drop your comments. You let me know. You keep on giving me your feedback that you are able to understand everything. You're able to get the knowledge that I'm trying to share with all of you. And whatever questions you have, please make sure you start dropping your questions in chat. All right. So before we talk online, a few common questions entrepreneurs worry about, or basically for all those who come from a hardcore traditional conventional background, this is a worry that is in their mind. One, how to get started online, especially when I don't understand IT and related technology. So a lot of entrepreneurs who do not come from engineering background, a lot of entrepreneurs who do not understand technology in general. And when I say online, online itself is an ecosystem. You need email, you need payment gateway, you need a website, you need social media, you need digital marketing, you need to manage the brand, you need to run the ads. There is hell lot of stuff out there, and that is what confuses people, right? So how to get started online, especially when I don't understand IT and related technology, is one of the biggest fears of lot of entrepreneurs out there. Second question that people worry about: what is the best medium to get started? Where should I get started from? Because starting is the most difficult part, considering that online digital is an ecosystem in itself. So people get confused. What is the first step? How should I get started? And most importantly, how much should I invest? What should be my budget range? Should I invest 5,000? Should I invest 50,000? Should I invest 5 lakh? Should I invest 5 crores? What should be my budget range? Or what should it look like? How can I plan my broad budget around online? And last but not the least, and the most interesting, most important question that everybody worries about: what if I get hacked? What if a fraud happens? What if somebody cheats me? What if something goes wrong tomorrow? Right? So these are a few things that entrepreneurs generally worry about. All right. So if you are somebody who has these concerns, let me help you how to get started online. So, but before we jump onto the main part, the most informative part of the entire session, let me help you also build some context, so that if once you think of starting getting online, you already understand why you should be doing it, or why is it a correct time to come online, and other relevant things, and also the kind of challenges you'll be facing, and also why you should come online, right? So let me give you a broad context before I give you the main framework, right? So again, if you agree, if you're excited, keep on dropping your comments, right? So why should you worry about online in 2021? The number one reason why you should worry, you should think about coming online, getting started online in 2021 is internet penetration. Internet penetration is literally going crazy. I was just looking at some stats. I forgot to put in the screenshot, but I will definitely at the end of the session, I will make sure I'm leaving the description link in the description. Internet penetration in India is 50%. We are roughly 135 crore people in this country. 50% of people have got access to internet after geo boom, which means you have opportunity to reach out to roughly 70 crore people, which is broadly your internet penetrable market, right? So if this does not literally blow your mind, India as a country is a land of opportunities. If this does not blow your mind, I don't know what else will. So increasing internet penetration is one of the reasons why you should get motivated to get started online. Second, cheap mobile phone, cheap mobile internet, right? We have smartphones in this country ranging from 5,000 to maybe 2 lakh rupees, right? So because of cheap mobile internet, any and everybody could afford a mobile phone. Geo happened. Geo was a mobile device, was SIM basically. You put it in a smartphone, boom, you have access to the internet. So basically, India roughly has, I think, 500 million devices, if I'm not wrong, because people typically have 2 to 3 phones. I'm not correct with that data. Again, I will put that link in the description. But cheap mobile phone is another reason why you should think about getting started online, because if nothing else will work out for you, mobile first approach will work out. And last but not the least, before we move on to the framework, right? New normal. You have People have adopted the new normal. Direct to consumer, e-commerce, digital marketing, online branding, remote working. This is what the new normal is all about, right? D2C brands have exploded in past 1 year. E-commerce have literally exploded. Look at the unicorns, look at the technology companies which became unicorns in past 1 year. If you go by the stats, India roughly had 36 37 unicorns, out of them 11, and again, I'm not sure on exact numbers. You can go back to my last episode and look at that, where I spoke about unicorns at length. But this is roughly the percentages. This is the rough number. Out of these 35 36 unicorns, roughly 11 or 12 unicorns were created just in last 1 year, right? And this is again crazy, right? So people have adopted digital, D2C, e-commerce, digital marketing, online branding, remote working is the new normal, and people have adapted to that. Therefore, you as an entrepreneur should for sure think about getting started online. Right now, what are the advantages? What are the broad advantages of coming online? Right, and this is something which is very very obvious. You and I should know about it. But again, let's quickly sum it up for all of you. Right, of course, customers have a higher trust factor when you come online. When you start talking to your customers online, when they see your digital presence, when they see your website, when they see your social media page, when they can reach out to you online via professional email ID, they have a higher trust factor in you. They know they're not dealing with a fraud. They know they're dealing with somebody who's absolutely trustworthy, right? So customers have a higher trust factor. Your customer is going to search you on digital social media. Your customer is going to search you on Google. If they cannot find you on Google, if they cannot find you on social media, trust me, they will not be willing to do the business with you. So customers have a higher trust factor if you are available online. Second, you have more reach of your business to more customers, and you have a better possibility of discovery, right? What do I mean by discovery? Discovery means that when you are putting your business online, more people can search for you, and you as a business can reach out to more people and offer them your services, right? Of course, all of these strategies have challenges. We'll talk about them at the last of the episode. But more reach of your business, better discovery by the customer is something that is a big advantage for all of you again, right? And Last but not least, and one of the most cliched statements ever, uh, you must have heard it 1,000 times already, that online, if you put a website online, if you put a digital presence online, if you get started online means that you are building a 24/7 shop, and therefore demographics is not a bar, therefore world is your market. So internet business means that world is the market, business means you have a shop online. And if you have something that can be delivered as a product in e-commerce, boom, you are in a space where you will be making enough money even while you're sleeping. If this does not motivate you, if this does not inspire you to start a side hustle, or inspire you to think at strategies that you can implement in your existing business to get started online and make more money, again, I don't know what else will. All right, so now, what are the fears and challenges of getting started online? What are the broad fears entrepreneurs have? And the reason I'm setting all this context once again for all of you, so that you can think, you can put on your thinking hats, start thinking on these lines, and if your questions, drop them in chat, right? So fear or challenges of getting started online, the most important number one challenge is privacy, security, and frauds, right? A lot of people who are not from the technical background, who do not understand technology, have this broad fear that what will happen once we get started online, our data will get leaked, we will be hacked, or some fraud might happen. This is a big challenge. There are ways to solve it. We'll talk about that in a bit, right? So privacy, security, fraud is one of the challenges, one of the disadvantages, one of the things that people are scared of getting started online because of, right? Then second, lack of technical expertise and other related complications, right? You don't know how to get started online. IT industry by default is little not that reputed because of, again, not having great service providers. So lack of technical expertise and other related complications are second thing that discourages people to get online. And third and most important, legal compliance, legal copyright and compliance issues. When you come online, as I said, you are not sitting in a local market, you are not in a mom and pop shop, you are not in a brick and mortar business, you are not no more a local business. When you go online, you are basically a national business or an international business. Therefore, you will have to make sure you have a proper legal structure in place, you have proper copyright things in place, and you are also able to follow the right compliances. So it becomes little tricky from the business running point of view. You're not running a Lalaji ka shop. At the end of the day, when you're running an online business, it should look like a business, both from the branding point of view, and also most importantly, should look like a business from the legal compliance and copyright point of view, because else you will have repercussions, right? So these are the three reasons I believe are the challenges why people refrain from getting online. It is not difficult. You can find right guys to assist you with this. It is just a mental block. It is just a fear that people have in mind, because of which they do not get online, right? Now, the best part of the entire session that all of you would have been waiting for up till now, right? How to get started. What is the blueprint to get the business started online? What is the right way through which you can get started online? So now what I will do is I will talk about broad framework, the broad structure through which you can get started online, right? So if you are ready, if you are excited, now is the time to drop a boom in chat. Now is the time to drop a comment in chat. Now is the time to show me your reaction in chat so that I can get started. All right. And before I move on to the main part, let me also thank all of you who have joined me tonight. We have uh, Eskiyamir, we have Ritesh, we have Anand, we have Mukul, and we have a few more people who have not yet commented, but that's absolutely fine. So please make sure you are commenting and leaving your questions behind as well. So let's get started, folks. Let's get started. What is the framework? So the number one thing, and this is something which might sound a little theoretical, but will be very important for each one of you if you want to start a business online. The number one thing that you want to do before you jump online, before you come online, before you start your business, or you think of building a business online, is evaluate your purpose. Without a correct why, without the correct evaluation, without the correct understanding of why you want to do something, you should never be doing anything, because then you will get confused. You will leave that thing in the middle, because you have no right objective of doing things, right? So evaluate your purpose. You should be able to answer questions like why you want to sell. Why is it important to you and your business? When you are now starting to sell online, why is this important to you and to your business? And last but not the least, what is the objective you're trying to achieve? You should be able to answer these three questions, right? Of course, I have already given you a broad framework. I've already given you a broad stuff that why should uh, you think of getting started online. I've already told you that framework, but I've given you the reasons. But if those reasons do not align with these things here, and if you do not have a common overlap, it will be really, really, really difficult for you to evaluate your purpose and get started, right? So these are the three questions you should be able to answer: why you want to sell, why is it important for you and your business to get started online, evaluate the purpose, and what is the objective we're trying to achieve. These are the three things that you should be able to answer. Then second, I'll quickly take a pause here, and let me again try and go a bit slow, so that you can keep on grabbing and understanding what am I trying to tell all of you, right? So the second thing that you should be then able to access your offering. I've already given and told you the broad framework of how the business ecosystem looks like, right? So now what you want to kind of articulate, what you want to kind of write down is: what do you want to sell, or what do you sell as a business? To whom you want to sell? Are you selling services or product? I've already spoken about B2B, B2C, D2C, and the differentiator between products and services. And can it be delivered online and offline? This is the most important question. Whatever you're trying to sell, can that be delivered completely online? Can it be 100% internet business? Let us say if you're doing consultancy, if you're doing counseling, that can be delivered online. If you're into advisory, if you're into some sort of a consultation, that can be done 100% online. But if you are selling some products, if you're selling some services, if you're selling something that needs a physical thing, that has to be delivered offline, because you'll have to ship it, right? And if that is the case with you, do you sell something that can break or can be returned back? The reason why you should also care about it, because once you get into something that has breakages or return costs, means logistics get involved, you will have a lot of complications in the entire ecosystem, in the entire scenario from the financial point of view. It will not be as simple as that you only put up a price point and sell it to anybody. What will happen when you are selling something that can be broken or that can be returned back? You will have financial repercussions, and if you're not well prepared about that entire thing, you will basically be start making losses, because wherever you're trying to sell, whether your own e-commerce website or whether you are trying to sell via marketplace, the problem is you will these marketplaces will also charge you certain commission, and therefore you will start having losses, right? So you need to make sure that you are basically evaluating all these parameters as well, which I'm again repeating: what do you sell, to whom you want to sell, are you selling service or products, can it be delivered online or offline, and last but not least, do you sell something that can break or be returned, because you will have financial repercussions around that, right? So First, we spoke about evaluating the purpose. Once you've evaluated your entire purpose, second, you move on to excess of offerings. You then go and look at the entire offering you have, and then is the time you now build your online presence. So when you now start setting up your digital presence, this is the time you build everything around digital, right? So what all is a part of setting up digital presence? And I'm not sure if you all can see and read it very, very clearly. If you guys are not able to see it very clearly, can you quickly reply me in chat and tell me that whether you're able to see it clearly or not? So meanwhile, I'll continue and I'll be waiting for your quick input, and if you think you're not able to read it, I will change the format of the session, right? So setting up digital presence, right? The first thing you need to do while setting up your online stuff is you need to get your branding sorted. When I say branding sorted, your logo, your brand guidelines, your digital brand presence, your brand identity, any and everything that guides or covers your branding, something that is more like a visual communication for your business, that is something you should be setting up, right? So that is number one thing. Once you have set up everything around branding, that is the time after that you move on to building a website. That is the second thing, right? And again, in this session, I'm not going into all the super complicated stuff like how to set up branding, how to set a website, how to build a social media page, because then individually, all of these will be, I think 1 hour sessions themselves, right? So I'm not trying to complicate things for you here. I'm just trying to give you a broad framework so you can then look into each one of them and then look at how to do that particular thing, right? So branding is one, website is second, social media pages. Without your social media presence, so like for example in 2010 people used to say that if you are not searchable on Google, basically you do not exist. Similarly in 2021, if you're not searchable on social media, you do not exist. So website is important, social media far more important. Make sure you have got correct social media pages up out there, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, maybe other platforms, whatever are important for your business. Twitter for that matter, Facebook for that matter, Pinterest for that matter, Reddit for that matter, whatever is important for your business, make sure you are able to set up that, right? Professional email ID is another thing. Then in order to get customers and in order to build your business, you need to go out there and list your business on multiple listing websites or platforms, both locally and globally. Something like sulekha.com, something like justdial.com, something like alibaba.com, something like indiamart.com, or maybe Flipkart, Amazon, eBay. There are multiple platforms or multiple listing websites based on what you're selling, to whom you're selling, what your entire funnel look, how does your entire funnel looks like. If you have to kind of if you have to kind of answer that, you need to set up your website on a lot of different listing websites which act as a platform or act as a discovery marketplace for your business. So make sure you set up that. And last but not the least, in order to kind of be successful when it comes to setting up a digital presence, you need to have payment, inventory, and delivery system, right? So you will be collecting payments online. You need a payment gateway, you need a payment system, maybe something like a Razor Pay, something like a PayPal, something like a Stripe, based on whom are you selling to, where are you selling to, what kind of product are you selling to. You of course need an inventory management system and a software, because now you're not selling at one place in a local stuff, you are selling any and everywhere, just selling at multiple places, maybe direct to consumer, using marketplaces and stuff like that. You need a central inventory management system. And last but not the least, you also need a delivery system or maybe a delivery partner, because if you are into physical products, you need somebody to set up the entire delivery module for you, right? So these are a few broad things that I think if you are able to do correctly, your basic digital presence should be there. But this is not enough, right? Once you are able to do all of these things, you now need to start promoting your business. You now need to go more deeper and wider. So what do you need then, right? Tell me. If you are able to understand everything, now this is the time, or this is the correct time to post your comments, folks. I am not able to see any more comments. I'm not sure whether you are awake or just listening to the channel. Tell me your feedback. Are you enjoying the content? Are you liking the stuff that I'm sharing with you? Is it worth your time? And most importantly, if you have questions, keep on asking me. Post this, I will move on to the fourth part, where I will be speaking about how can you take this digital presence deeper and wider in order to get more customers. And last, of course, bonus, we will be looking at the customer journey, right? So quickly, a quick update in the live chat. And also, if you haven't liked the video and haven't subscribed the channel, please, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you do that. All right. So fourth is something that will help you to get more customers. So this is the time now you get into business promotions, right? Once you have set up your basic digital presence, once you know why you're doing it, once you know for whom you're doing it, once you have set up the basic shop, right? And you have set up the basic digital infrastructure, then what you need to do is you need to now then get started on to doing business promotions. What is comprised of the business promotions? You need to get started with digital marketing or social media ads. So you have to basically understand how does digital marketing look like, how does social media ad run. You also have to do email marketing. That is again a very, very critical part. You have to also learn and understand doing search engine marketing and content marketing. These independent individual topics are something that are 1 hour discussion, 1 hour content by default. So let me know if you want me to do a session on any of these topics or even the previous topics that I've covered. The idea today was to give you a broad blueprint. If you have access to the broad blueprint, you can then start understanding each of the vertical one by one. But Again, let me know in the comment if you think, or maybe if you are watching it later on in the session, leave your comment in the in the comment section below of this video, that hey, I need this kind of a video or this kind of a webinar. I'll be more than happy to host them. So these are the broad areas of business promotion: digital marketing, email marketing, search engine marketing, and content marketing. And these are independent sectors, independent topics that you need to learn and understand about. Right now, the last thing that I want to talk about in today's session is challenges you should be ready for. So no matter how many advantages we have when we come online and start leveraging online business, no matter how lucrative or great online business looks like, there will be challenges in terms of, right from setting up to payments to money and a lot of other things. Let us understand what are the challenges you are ready to face, or what are the challenges that are going to come your way. So let us now look at the challenges you are going to face while building a business online. So challenge number one is, once you go online, you will be entering a price sensitive market. When you go yourself, when you go and buy anything on Flipkart or on Amazon, I am very, very sure, whether you're buying a book or a shoe or a cloth or a shirt or a t-shirt or any sort of electronic item, you go to Flipkart, you go to Amazon, and you make sure you do a price comparison, because generally consumer market is a price sensitive market. Even forget consumers, B2B market, right? For example, you're selling website services, you're selling designing services, you're selling content services. Your competitor, your potential buyer, your potential customer will definitely go and look at the pricing of other players. And of course, then he'll be looking at the price versus value delivery. That's a different topic altogether. But you are going to enter a super price sensitive market. That is what you're going to enter into. So make sure you are ready to take that blow of entering a super price sensitive market. Second, once you go global, your competition increases 100x, right? Because when you are on internet now, everybody's a competition. So you will be facing huge competition. Make sure you have the correct, absolute right analysis of how does your competition look like, right? So you will be facing a lot of competition. Everybody will be a competition. When I say everybody into the similar space will be a competition. And this is one of the reasons why already marketplaces like Fiverr and Freelancer for services, for that matter, Flipkart and Amazon, eBay for that matter, are overcluttered now. And sellers have now problems selling on these platforms because everybody becomes a competition. So you will be facing huge competition. That is another challenge you should be prepared for. Third is growing technology. So technology, my friends, is not a one-time deal. It's not a one-time thing. It's not a one-time fix. You will have to keep on updating yourself with technology with time. So imagine when people started doing business in 2000 for that matter, right? When it was year 2000, people were working on basic internet with email marketing. There was nothing called as social media. In 2010, websites came into the picture. Google became popular. People started doing search engine marketing. People started spending more money on Google ads. And in 2020, now social media is also an integral part. So you still have to basically do email marketing, do SMS marketing, do do digital marketing, do social media marketing, and most importantly, also understand, leverage modern technology. You can't keep on running a website on a shitty, bad server. You have to move on the cloud. You have to buy better servers. So growing technology will be a big challenge, and you as an entrepreneur needs to be updated with time on that technology. So you cannot compromise in technology. So growing technology will become another challenge. And last and the most important thing, market spend. You will be spending far more money in advertising and promoting your business online. So of course, because you will be looking at higher sales or higher sales figures, therefore you will be spending more money. So market spend will keep on increasing. It's a big game you should be mentally prepared to enter into, and marketing spend will be another very big challenge for all of you who plan to get online or get started online, because you will end up spending, if not crores, a few lakhs of rupees on your social media, digital and paid ad marketing. So these are all things, right? These are all the challenges that you'll be facing. Now, combining everything together, combining everything together, the broad idea is to convert the visitor into the customer, right? You are not doing this entire activity for any fancy stuff, or you're not doing this entire activity because just you want to do it. You are a business owner, you are an entrepreneur, you are an aspiring entrepreneur, you are a student, maybe trying to get something started online. You can be anybody, but your idea is to broadly bring this visitor and make him your customer. Therefore, that means once he's into your kitty, he should be able to buy your product. Now, once you have that sort of understanding, how does it happen? How does it all play together? That is what is known as customer journey in a digital marketing funnel, right? So combining all of that together, let me remove these banners, and also let me change the screen size so you can see. This is something that basically, if you see on the left, it is the buyer's journey: awareness stage, consideration stage, and decision stage. You sensitize your customer, you show him, you inform him about your product. Consideration stage is something where he now cares about the product, cares about the business, knows the business. And decision stage is something where he buys your product. And on the right, what you can look is the marketing tactics or digital marketing tactics. So on right, you put a blog, social media, keyword pages. On right, in the awareness stage, you bring them on landing pages, contacts, other stuff. While in consideration stage, you collect his email ID, you build a workflow, you create a CRM and a lead scoring system. And last but not least, social media, email, workflow. So again, as I'm saying, the idea is to give you a broad picture about this funnel. This entire funnel, customer journey marketing funnel, digital marketing funnel, is a 1 hour session in itself. But the idea is to show this to you here, because I wanted to show you that how your entire online journey can be translated into a single funnel, via which how you can convert your customer into, sorry, convert your visitor into a paid customer. And this is how it looks from the pre-sales and post-sales stage. So you have engagement, you have education, you have research, you have evaluation, you have justification, you have purchase. These 7 are your pre-sales strategies, right? You engage your customer, that means you build social media, you build website, you build webinars, seminars, tools, ebooks, stuff, so by which your customer gets engaged or builds brand awareness. Then you of course get in conversation with him using some long form of content, something like what I'm doing right now. You educate them, then you push them to research more about you, evaluate a product. And then once they see enough value, they feel justified, they feel justified for the price they're willing to pay to you for that product. And then of course they make a purchase, right? And then of course they adopt the brand, you retain them, you upsell them, which is expansion. And then of course ultimately they become your advocates, which means that they become your loyal customers, or that is the time you get repeat sales. Now if I have to convert this entire conversation into finance, right? Again, because business, I've already spoken about this multiple times, I've also showed this to you on my channel multiple times. Business is numbers, business is finance, business is money, right? So this entire funnel should be able to, also the top funnel is basically customer acquisition cost, the bottom funnel is basically customer lifetime value. If your customer acquisition cost is higher than your customer lifetime value, that means you are going to incur loss for all your life. Therefore you will never be able to build a profitable business. But if your customer acquisition cost, that means top blue part of the funnel, is lesser than the green part, that means customer lifetime value, my friends, congratulations, you have built a profitable business, right? So understanding these funnels is very, very important, right? Now, summarizing everything together, the one last thing I want to talk to all of you before I jump on to answering your questions. And in next 5 minutes, I think we're already running at a 53-minute mark. In next 5 minutes, 7 minutes, we will wrap today's session. So the last thing I want to speak with all of you about, I want to inform all of you about, is a program that I'm conducting, which is, and why should you care about this program? Because PowerCamp is a 2-day live project training workshop where I not only train you on creating your own pitch deck, which is also important to pitch to your customers and not only investors, but also I will train and coach you in building a financial model. If you are somebody who is an aspiring entrepreneur, if you're somebody who's already an entrepreneur looking to get started onto funding or fundraising, come attend this workshop. What I will do is I will leave the link in the description for all of you to have a look at, and then maybe you can come and have a look at the workshop. All right. So on that note, what I will do now is, this is the end of the session. What I'll do is I will pick up a few questions if you have any, and then we can wrap today's session. All right. So I have got one comment from Delightful Desert. How to share divide with partners, please make a video on this. All right, so let me try and answer that this particular question for you quickly in a bit, and then maybe I can create a dedicated videos. So when you are building a company, the ideal way of dividing your shares is dependent upon what skill set and how much risk each of the partners bring on the table, or how much risk they're taking willing to take, and how much value they bring on the table. So for example, and again, it's a hypothetical evaluation, but it should be a fair evaluation between all of you. So let us say you are two guys, both of you are bringing in right skill set on the table. One of you is an engineer who can build the product, one of you is a sales and a marketer who can sell the product. Both of you are building in right value on the table. Both of you are taking equal risk. Both of you are not in a job. Both of you are trying to do it full time. Therefore you should be able to divide 50-50%, right? Let us say you're three guys. The ideal trio for building a business, I've already done a video on co-founder. Go and watch that, which where I've spoken about hustler, hipster, hacker concept, right? The ideal trio, then in that case you should be 33, 33, 33, which means again equal, right? But let us say in some case, if one of your founders does not have enough skill set, or one of your founders does not bring in the right value on the table, or one of the founders is not doing it full time, then of course, based on the availability of time he or she is contributing on the business, what you can do is you can figure out or reach a common value where you think is a fair percentage to the guy or girl who's not full time, and also the guy who's full time should feel that he's being compensated enough or fairly when it comes to his efforts. So it is a open-ended discussion, primarily done on two aspects, and let me put it upfront, primarily done on two aspects: the value each one of you bring on the table, and how much risk each one of you is taking. So if you are able to calculate this should give you a broad strategy of dividing the shares among the partners. And of course, as you've requested, I will definitely make a detailed video onto this. How can you kind of divide shares, and what are the complications around it, right? So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I think this was all from my side for today. This was episode number 31 of Aim with DNK, how to take your business online. Before I leave, the last note from my side, this is the link of PowerCamp. If you want to attend, it's happening on 26th and 27th of this month. powerdeck.in/PowerCamp. Come and join the session. This is the link for you. If you want to come and attend, if you want to learn how to make a pitch deck, and maybe want to get trained and coached into building a financial model, come and attend the program, right? So on that note, guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of AMA with DNK, episode number 31st, how to take your business online. It was a delight. It was a pleasure making this presentation for all of you and coming and present in front of all of you. I will see you on next Saturday, episode number 19th of March, episode number 32. My team is working hard on building a few more exciting sessions for all of you, and I hope you're enjoying them. You're learning with what we are trying to bring value you for, right? So yeah, so that's all from my side. Once again, have a great weekend. Thank you so much. This is Dilnawaz Khan signing off. And if you want to follow me or follow my journey, make sure you go and check out all my social media handles in the link below, in the description below. And also you can check out the handles that they're running in the ticker below. So on that note, thank you so much. Good night. Have a great weekend. And I will see you next Saturday. Meanwhile, so as I was saying, meanwhile, go and subscribe for PowerCamp. All right. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody.